Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Mega Mirror Special. This is our very first live edition, and we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to be inviting some of our previous guests from the Mega Mirror, seeing where they were and where they are now. And we'll also have a chance for all of you in the live chat to ask your questions of each of the creators and find out what you've always wanted to know. So, we'll be right back as soon as we play the station ID. Daddy?
I'm in trouble. I'm not that one with it. Sorry. It's not good.
No worries. Looks like we're going to be short the station ID. Sorry about that, folks. Anyways, let's find out who we've got with us today. First of all, I'd just like to take a look in the chat and see who's with us in the live chat. We've got Robert Legier III. Welcome, Robert. Good to see you here. Kiri Mack. Hello, dear. Nice to see you come along. Carl Edwards, Globus Schillis, Blue Earth Thing, and we've got a whole bunch of other of my regulars. Let's see. We've got your pal Al, and we've also got, Glober Chris. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming by. First thing I'd like to do is just go around and see who our guests are for this evening and let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about where they were and where they are now. I'm going to start with the very first guest I ever had on the Mega Mirror Special, Canadian Thomas, who you probably know better as Dick Dawson. Dick, say hello.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Dick Dawson here, aka Canadian Thomas. Let's see. When I first started my YouTube journey was right when Dan Pratt and Team Skeptic had their big fight, which was absolutely intense and amazing to be a part of. It was so funny, I couldn't believe it. And I started doing songs on my Canadian Thomas channel. And then it wasn't too long before a few people encouraged me to start into video and stuff, and I started the World Model Feud channel, which has now become the Dick Dawson channel because World Model Feud is just the game show. And some news that will be coming soon is World Model Feud game show, as well as the new talk show, will be coming over to the Shills channel soon, because we have some amazing cool announcements coming up very soon with the Shills. So I guess that takes me out of the picture. That's me. That's what I've been doing. Back to you there, Jeff. Awesome.
Well, thanks, Dick. That was great. And next up, we have the next guest I had on the Mega Mirror, the sarcastic Barman. Barman, say hello.
Hello, how is everybody? It's all going well here. I'm the sarcastic barman. It's been an amazing, what we've been doing this for now, 7 months. And I can't believe how well it's gone, how awesome everyone I've started speaking to is. You're all amazing, great friends, are coming along really well. Had some excellent nights out with a few of you. And starting to do my little poker streams on the Shills channel. And my normal channel's going great as well.
Excellent. Things are going really well with your poker channel, actually. The poker night seems to be a big hit. So good luck with that. I'm looking forward to hearing some more about it. Yeah, absolutely. I hear Kiri Mack is being a real killer at the poker table, hey?
Oh, she got hammered last week, so it was quite funny. She lost most of her chips. Who was it? I think it was Colon's gone in and scooped them all this week. So he's got to survive this coming Sunday, so we'll see what happens there.
Absolutely. Everybody, make sure you drop by the Barman's channel and check that out. Next up, I'd like to bring on two very special guests who made a really interesting Friday night Mega Mirror special, and it was really fun working with them. Logical and Babes Troglodyte. Say hi, guys.
Hey, Jeff. Sorry, but Babes couldn't be here. Today was the day that she does her weekly volunteering at her church thrift shop, so I'm all here by myself today.
Well, that's all right. How you doing, brother?
We're doing pretty good. So I've heard you ask everybody about kind of where they were and where they are now. Well, I kind of started back in early February, I had been watching people like Brainy Beaver and Canadian Thomas and Radical, the Unhallowed Knight, and many others. And I was thinking, the YouTube thing looks kind of fun, but at the same time, I didn't really think I was qualified to do conspiracy debunking. What I really intended originally was to tell kind of funny stories about myself, my family, my neighbors, fairly normal, intelligent, well-educated people that temporarily get stuck on stupid and do really weird, funny things. But after I did my red pill debunk, just kind of on a whim, everybody just kept asking for more. So that Stuck on Stupid series kind of went by the wayside.
Awesome. Well, your channel sure is growing. It was a lot of fun doing your recent 666 special. That was a blast.
Yeah, I was really appreciative of everybody showing up to help celebrate that. I'm amazed that anybody started watching my channel, and I'm a little over 700 now, getting close to that 1K mark, and it still continues to amaze me.
Yeah. That's awesome. Really great. And now I'd like to move on to the final guests of the show, the most recent, or one of the most recent guests I had on the Mega Mirror, Auntie Flatter from way, way down under. How are you, Flatter?
Hey, kia ora, everybody. Now, being that this is 5 o'clock in the morning for me, I don't have such a large speech like the others do. But being that I've been doing this for almost a year now, I suppose I should put something together. My channel obviously started around January this year. And like the others, inspired by a lot of these other creators out there. My main inspiration, of course, was Fight the Flat Earth. Since that year, my team's managed to go from me, a drunken Russian guy, a soldier that somehow protects Antarctica while still wearing a green uniform, and various other people that appear.
Awesome. Well, your channel sure is a lot of fun. I'll say that much. Lots of fun stuff going on in there. So that's the lineup for tonight, folks. We've got 4 great creators who have been guests previously on the Mega Mirror special. And tonight it's basically your turn to ask your questions. Whatever it is that you've always wanted to know about any one of these creators, just pop it in the chat and we'll take them one at a time and see what we can come up with. So if anyone has a question, please feel free to pop it in the chat and let's get things going.
I got a little story I can share as we wait for a few questions here, Jeff.
Absolutely.
So yesterday, I watched some retro computing on YouTube. I mean, my first computer was a TRS-80 Model 1 in 1979, so it's a little dear to me, right? And there's this girl from Britain, UK there, Octavius Kitten, and she does these really intricate, detailed videos about retro computing where she literally green screens herself into the game with the characters and acts out these extravagant stories. It's fantastic stuff. She's very good. And I went to her channel yesterday because I was going to email a friend a link to say, here, check this girl out. You'll really like her. And there was only one video on her channel. So I watched the video to find out what's going on. And she's had to hide all of her videos as private because she uses this character Horus. Most of us from North America might not know what Horus is, but it's a character that came out of some games that I do believe originated on the ZX Spectrum and then made their way over to the Amstrad 464 CPC and whatnot. And it's the first Horus game is basically a Pac-Man ripoff, and it's the weird little green guy going around in a maze doing his thing. So she's got Horus in her intro, and she interacts with Horus in some of her videos and stuff. Well, this one absolute scumbag piece of human filth, garbage trash, who now owns the rights to Horus and a few other of these characters. He's the absolute scumbag who just put out the Commodore 64 Mini. He was on the dev team, and he's one of the guys who screwed everybody over on the ZX Spectrum Vega that never came to pass and just ripped everybody off on Kickstarter or whichever service they used. And what he's done now that he's the IP owner is he's gone at her and not just put a few claims on her videos, but he's told her in no uncertain terms, I don't even want to monetize your videos. I want every one of them down and gone. And he's literally just trying to destroy her channel. And this is a girl who has like some depression issues and stuff, and her channel's her entire life, income in the whole 9 yards. And this guy's just gone on a personal vendetta to ruin her. And once again, it shows how broken the copyright claim system is on this platform we're streaming on right now. It's atrocious. This is an IP that hasn't been used in like 25 years. He bought up a back catalog of stuff so he could put out some, you know, new retro version of a Spectrum. So now he has the rights. And instead of going, oh, wow, look, she's introducing all these people in North America to Horace who never would have known who he was, and they might buy my console, he's trying to bully her around. So, his name is something Andrews or something. If you look up the producer, the person who is behind the C64 Mini, you'll find who he is easy. And I encourage everyone that listens to this to make your voice heard. Let him know that no way will you ever support him with even 1 red cent of your money.
Absolutely. Get out there and support this wonderful channel, and let everybody know that what's going on is just not right. It could affect all of us.
Exactly.
So yeah, your support would be awesomely appreciated, and anything we can do to help her and ourselves, it's all for the good.
Exactly.
Which leads me actually to our first question from Carl Edwards. This one's to you, Dick. Carl would like to know, what is your musical background?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was about 9 years old, and it didn't really take because the guy teaching me was teaching me some really old Elvis type tunes, and well, I guess not that old, but you know what I mean. And it just wasn't my style. I was a little bit, you know, more modern rock and roll. So a couple years later, a guy down the road got himself a guitar, and within a little while, he could play like, you know, Iron Man by Black Sabbath and stuff like that. And I thought, well, hell, I mean, it just doesn't look that hard. I could do it. So my folks got me an electric guitar this time. The first one was an acoustic, got me a little amp, and within like 3 or 4 months, I could literally just put a cassette tape into the old tape player. Yes, I'm that old. And I could figure out how to play the song in about 15 minutes. So I played all through high school. After high school, I went off to an audio engineering school for 2 years, and then I took off in bands and toured around North America with some pretty good bands all through the 1990s. And then after that, it was just time, like I'd had enough, so I got myself some schooling and tech support, and yeah, now I'm here. Well, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, you spent a number of years actually touring through the States, did you not?
Yeah, all around North America. I spent 10 years working in studios and mostly being on tour and stuff. We had a couple of really good bands. So,
excellent.
you know, the biggest show I ever played was probably about 3,000 people in the audience.
Awesome. You were pretty close to a record deal as well, as if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we actually turned down Sony because they wanted to turn us into some pop type band, and we were just like, fuck you. You know, we had way too, you know, not a chance, man. Because I mean, we were already doing well on the road, and none of us wanted to be rock stars. We wanted to be professional musicians. You know, we had no delusions of grandeur, right? Like, we were pretty grounded. Right. So we just said, forget it. We don't need you guys. Forget it. And we're probably better off that we didn't, because I don't have to look back and go, wow. Because literally, I mean, if you sell out your musical abilities and just do what you're told to be a pretty face holding a guitar, you're no better than a street prostitute. I mean, come on, you know, it's a joke. How are you going to live with yourself in your retirement years looking back and going, well, I sold my entire soul just for a few extra dollars. I'm scum. Like, it's terrible. I could never do it.
Yeah, I don't think anybody with his integrity in the music business could.
No, exactly.
As a matter of fact, Carl Edwards mentions that Dick's voice reminds him of David Bowie in some of his songs. So you got a famous sound there, bud.
Thanks, Carl. The secret is, Carl, is I was never a singer. I've always been a musician. I only learned how to sing to be able to sing my backups because we strove for a very professional sound in the bands. And so how I actually sing isn't so much being a singer, it's I mimic the singer's voice. And that's why when you listen to some of the songs I do a pretty good Roger Waters impersonation, a decent David Bowie impersonation. It's because that's how I make it so I sound like I can sing. It's kind of a joke, but it
Yeah,
works.
no kidding. Hey, it does work. It does work. You got a great voice, and you definitely have the musical talent that a lot of us wish we had.
Thanks.
So I'm just kind of looking through here to see if we've got any other questions for some of the other creators on the panel. I know I've got a question or two that I would like to ask. So why don't I go ahead and do that while you guys think of some more questions that you might like to ask. My first question I like to put out to Sarcastic Barman. Barman, can you tell us what it's like juggling YouTube and a full-time bar?
Oh my God, it's horrendously hard work. We were talking about hours last night. I worked out this week. Well, last week I did 105 hours just on the bar. So yeah, it's hard work, late nights. But then I fell asleep last night after the stream, and fair play, the wife left me in bed, and I finally woke up at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So obviously I needed a hell of a lot of sleep. But it's just one of those. You just fit it in when you can. I'm slowly trying to get ahead now. It's getting to winter. I'm getting a bit more time off, and I'm being able to I can chill a bit more. I can get some more YouTube videos. And I've actually got next week's video already done. I'm like, yay. But
Wow,
the plan
cool.
is not to do what I normally do when I do get ahead of myself. I get ahead of myself and go, yeah, I've got this video. Let's release it now. It's like, crap. Now I've got twice as much work to do to make another video.
Exactly. Well, I do want to say great thanks to your wife for taking care of the bar tonight so you could be here with us. Globus Schillis would like to know, when's the next pizza party?
Oh, next pizza party. We're hoping to do one on Saturday the 26th. Yes, depending on the weather, because that'll be the last one of this year. Because we got a band in the pub and we got a Halloween party, so we're hoping to do some pizzas for that. It'll just be weather dependent, really.
Cool. And I've got another question for you from Carl Edwards. He would like to know, when did you start your own business, and has it been a good decision?
Oh, it's definitely been a good decision. We've been at this pub for about 18 months now. It was March last year we took this over. Before that, we had a restaurant up in North Wales for about 6 years. So a bit of a difference from pub to restaurant, because that was, waltz into the restaurant about 10-ish, start getting ready for lunch. Nights weren't too bad. You'd normally be finished by 10, half 10 at the latest. But yeah, being able to say, well, this is what I'm going to do. Every penny I earn is mine. Is like, yay. Not having to listen to anyone else's rules apart from the wife's. And fair play, her rules are normally good. So yeah, if you can do it, self-employed is the way to go. Absolutely.
And okay, well, let's have a look at the chat and see if there's any other questions in there. Nope. Okay, so while you guys are thinking of some more questions you'd like to ask, I'd like to move on to Anti-Flatter and ask him a few questions. How are you, Flatter?
I'm still alive and here.
Good man.
But
Listen,
before you ask a question, I actually do have one for the barman. With his,
cool.
With his pizza evening that's coming up, especially for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
Is there going to be pineapple?
Of course
And
there'll be
going to be
pineapple.
spaghetti?
Pineapple pizza is lovely. There will not be any spaghetti on pizza. I know it's Halloween and you're supposed to do scary things, but that's far too scary for anyone. Is spaghetti on pizza?
Well, there you go.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist that one.
Anyways, a question I've always wanted to ask you, Flatter. You put a lot of work into the characters in your videos, like Yuri and Lance Corporal Flatter. Do you have an actual acting background at any point in your young life?
Are you trying to say that I'm all the same person, that all of these people are me?
Well,
These are real people. They're not just me. No, I haven't actually done any like professional acting or anything like that, but obviously school plays and stuff like that. I joined in on a few of them.
Ah, cool. Blue Earth thing. He asks, "Is Yuri starting to sweat? Because I'm right on his tail." He says.
Hang on, I'll just wake him up and see. Yuri, wake up, you fucking drunken Russian! What are you doing? Get the fuck up, man! I want to talk to you. Oh, just trying to sleep, and he like comes. What does people want? Hey, Steven Caporeason, здравствуйте. What? Why am I here? Is Yuri starting to speak? I tell you, weird thing. Нет. You not make Yuri sweat. Only thing you make Yuri sweat is run out of vodka. Yuri can't go to more vodka.
Ah, okay. Well,
Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but apparently he's sweating vodka.
cool. Well, there you go, Blue Earth thing. I think you got your answer. Carl Edwards would like to ask yet another question of Logical Troglodyte. How do his friends look at him when they see him as his alter ego? Logical?
Well, actually, most of my friends are here on YouTube, so they're just as weird as I am. But as far as my friends here locally that live in the same town, most of them don't know what I do on YouTube. And the couple that do just shake their head at me. It's like, why do you bother? Those people are just friggin' nuts anyway. They just kind of think it's odd but funny.
Cool. I've got an interesting one here from our lovely Kiri Mac. She would like to know what all of you think of each other when you put them on the spot. Or actually, I'm putting you on the spot. So, what do you guys think of each other?
Well,
Am I allowed to say this stuff on your channel?
Go for it, man. Be yourself.
Every one of these loser fucks hanging on to my fucking coattails. God damn it. No, I'm just kidding. I love these guys.
See, I was going to say that I love all of them because by comparison, they make me look better.
Yeah, all these guys are great. Couldn't ask for a better bunch of friends. In fact, my local friends, they tend not to call me, because I'm medically retired and I'm homebound a lot. And they know that I'm going to tell them, man, I'm sorry, I can't go to the show today or go to the bar today. So they don't bother. So in order to maintain those friendships, I have to constantly call them. It's a little one-sided. But with these guys, if they don't hear from me for a while, they're checking on me. And they're like, man, are you okay? Or you're not in the hospital, are you? You still alive? That's what real friends do. So these guys are more real friends to me, even though we've never met face-to-face, than a lot of my local friends,
Cool.
Indeed.
What about you, Barman?
Oh, I'm just hanging about with them so I can get hold of their DNA and make a super YouTuber. So I'm going to have like Dick Dawson's voice, Logical's brain. I'm going to have Ansi Flatter's ability to do voices and things like that. Eventually, I'm just going to steal the DNA from everyone in the shills and create my own amazing YouTube thing. Until then, it's just the shills. It's fine.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's the thinker. He's the thinker. He's the thinker.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
shit, he is
Run
too.
away! Run away! What about you, Flatter?
No, just to repeat what Logical basically said. The shows when we all got together and that. Yeah, it's exactly how he says it actually. You disappear for a couple of days, you look at your phone and you've got a million messages from everyone doing where are you? Are you all right? Stuff like that.
Cool.
Your real life mates here, you disappear for 2 days and you get the, what, you don't like us anymore? It's like, yeah, no, sure, I've only been stuck in my room, unable to move for a couple of days.
That's cool. I have a question here from Carl Edwards, actually directed at me. How do I manage to stay so calm when I make my videos and streams? You call this
Heroin.
calm, Carl? I'm shitting bricks the size of a fucking Volkswagen. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm just trying to have some fun and give you guys a great show. But honestly, really, when you're dealing with a bunch of guys like this who have all become my friends and who are just awesome creators, each and every one of them, there's really not much to do to stay calm. It's just all a great time, and we have fun. We love what we do, and most of all, we love doing it for you guys. So I hope that answers your question. Have we got anything else? I don't see anything else. Okay, so logical. I'd like to ask you a question.
Maybe.
How do you manage to run a YouTube channel and also take care of such very large pets in Cave Town?
Well, I have a whole team of game preserve veterinarians and wardens that, they keep the Homo sapiens out because, let's face it, it's just not safe walking into the park with a bunch of, humongous dinos and saber-toothed cats. And our veterinarians, they work overtime trying to keep all the animals all good and healthy so that, the general public can enjoy watching them on the spy cams. It's a lot of work. I don't do it by myself. It is definitely a team effort.
True. True.
Think minions and camouflage, people. Minions and camouflage, and you'll get the perfect
there you
idea.
go. There you go. I hope Gracie doesn't have too much indigestion from Pratt. So.
Oh, that's a meal nobody should be eating, man. Ugh.
Well, she's chewed him up a few times, but every time she gets him come out the other end, he seems to reform. He's like the Blob,
I know my son loves watching Daniel Pratt get attacked on your channel. It's his favorite thing.
Yeah, I love watching the crinkle sores chase people around. That's awesome.
Yeah, that
Anyways,
came from one of the viewers. One of my very first videos, I was just kind of introducing the concept of my channel in Cave Town, and Gracie had walked by the front of the cave. One of the viewers said, "Oh, I can't wait to see the Crinklesaurus dying on some stupid." And I'm, "Oh, that's a great idea."
Awesome. I've got a couple other questions here. Blue Earth Thing would like to ask Sarcastic Barman, what's your favorite drink to mix?
Ooh, we're not the sort of pub that does many sort of cocktail mixes and things like that. But the one that I do like to make myself is a woo-woo cocktail. So it's basically vodka, Archers, cranberry juice, lots of crushed ice, and a nice chilled glass. It's supposed to be one of those long drinks, but it just goes down like cranberry juice, and it's like, and gets you absolutely hammered considering it's vodka and Archers.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Our producer, Taddy Bogle, has a question for each member of the panel. What channels do you like to watch on YouTube that are non-Flat Earth-wise?
Oh, man, I don't have time to watch non-Flat Earth channels anymore. I spend at least 25 hours a week viewing the stupid, trying to find the videos for my channel, for Babes' channel, for the shills, researching stuff for Logic and Reason. On the rare occasions I have a couple extra minutes, I like watching dog videos, especially the dogs that are caught in the act of, being guilty of something.
Cool. How
and
about
see,
you?
those videos are the reason why I stayed away from YouTube for so long, because pet videos are never watched in my world.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a welcome break from stupid, so
Yeah. Well, Dick, what kind of videos do you like to watch that aren't Flat Earth?
I go for technology, electronics, retro computing. Let's see. I also follow a few things that are based on music, like people that are looking at some of the new effects and gear that's coming out and whatnot. And but very much hardcore tech stuff, like the internal architectures of some of the new chips that are coming out, and so on. Stuff that makes most people eyes roll. Right? That's kind of my thing.
Cool. I got another question for you here. I'm not going to say who asked it. I think you can probably figure it out. So, is it true that Dick Dawson has an "I love anti-flatter" poster hanging above his bed?
Sorry, but when I go on camera next time, I will focus better because the word is loathe, not love, but very close. Good eye, good eye. Don't fuck with me,
That's
flatter.
That is awesome. Curie Mac has a question for Flatter. Where did the idea for Yuri come from?
Well, as we were traveling back in time to come do the shows, we accidentally went a wee bit too far back, and Yuri discovered us, so we had to bring him forward. But don't let him know that. He still thinks it's 1978.
Cool. Blue Earth Thing would like to ask all of you, what was the hardest video you had to record? Why don't we start with you, Flatter?
That's a tough one. I'd say the toughest one I've had to do would have just been my recent one, the 666 special, just because I had to put myself into the frame multiple times, and
Yeah, that was wicked.
a certain scene I needed to do a few press-ups for before I walked out. But that one was tough just because it took forever to edit it in, and it was purposely edited to make it look as bad as possible too. So
Yeah.
making something look bad can sometimes be harder than making it look good.
Yeah, that was a
Flatter,
great video.
you are the fucking master at it, though, buddy. You've got it nailed.
Absolutely. If you guys haven't
Whether
seen that
it's a
video,
compliment or not, saying I'm the master of making things bad.
yeah, if you guys haven't seen that video, get over to Annie Flatter's channel and have a look. It's awesome. Dick, what was the hardest video you ever had to make?
Absolutely simple. The first debunk episode I ever did, I was so unsure of myself that what I did was I said, you know what, fuck it. I'll just bring in Andy Flatter and Constable Conspicuous, let them do the debunking, and I'll be the host of the damn show. And that was the birth of the persona of Dick Dawson right there.
Awesome.
It was
Awesome.
also the birth of the Lance Corporal Flatter as well.
Yes, yeah, totally. That's right. That's right. And
That's
if you
cool.
want to go back far enough, it wasn't too long after that you started doing your end credits, which is the actual birth of the Shills.
Cool. What was the title of that video?
We went at who was it?
That guy. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
No. Oh, yes, no,
No.
it was that guy, because the second one was Pratt.
Yeah. The first one was that guy. When I gave him a little go, and I was just giving him like it wasn't a real debunk. I was just like, you're a punk or whatever, right? And then he literally just verbally diarrheaed all over the comments. But his last comment to me.
Oh, we seem to have lost a Dick.
we lost-
he's
he's dropped out,
lost
man.
him. Yeah,
Oh.
he's dropped out.
Yeah.
I
Well, until he comes back, I can answer
Yeah,
that
yeah.
question for me.
Yeah. Yeah,
For me,
let's-
the most difficult video I made was the putting the orphan gate to bed. People that have been around watching my channel for a while know that back in May, I got a false DMCA claim by Orphan Red on my Science versus Scientism. And most of the time, in my videos, it takes about an hour to make 1 minute of video with everything that I got to do. Well, I'm not a legal expert, so I had to do a ton of research about international DMCA and copyright law. And I was trying to make a video that was relevant to the international audience that I was having. So I made a couple of errors that was pointed out to me because it didn't quite line up with American law, which I addressed in my comments section. But I researched over 100 hours trying to make that video, and it's only about a dozen or so minutes long.
Man, that's a lot of work to go into one video. How did it turn out?
Oh, it turned out really well. People understood what I was saying. I think overall it was very internationally relevant. The only real mistake that I made was not making the finer distinction between European law, where they have hate speech laws, and the United States law, where they don't really have hate speech laws because, well, it's all covered under the freedom of speech deal in the First Amendment.
Cool. Cool. Well, thanks. If you guys haven't seen that video, head over to Logical's channel. Take a look. You might learn something that could help you if you've got a channel. Before I move on to the barman for the same question, I just want to quickly mention that Carl Edwards says, thank you so much for all of the panel members. He has to run, but he wants you all to know that he truly enjoyed this stream. So thanks, Carl, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. So back to the original question. Barman, what was the hardest video you ever had to make?
Oh, there's two that have been difficult ones to make. One was the anti-vax one, because they just wind me up so much and I get really grumpy making it. Hardest for time-wise to make, though, was the no swearing one. I seem to enjoy swearing far too much when I'm making my own YouTube videos, and to go through and go, no, I can't say this, I can't say that, and just re-recording and re-recording and re-recording. And it got to the end and I was physically exhausted of having to think of every other word that I say to make sure I didn't go, fork this, fork that. I was like, oh.
It's so hard not to do that, eh?
Oh, it is. It's horrendously difficult, especially when every video I've done up until that point was just constantly swearing. I mean, it was good making it because I think it's calmed my channel down a bit in the swearing department, where it's not overly sweary, it's not underly sweary. It just sits nicely, I think, now. And yeah, I'll probably make another one that's no swearing, but yeah.
That's cool. I look forward to seeing that one. And again, if you guys haven't seen that video yet, head over to Barman. Take a look. Blue Earth. Oh, no, not Blue Earth thing. Oh, TC Lucas. Hey, TC Lucas, how are you, mate? Good to see you. He'd like to ask Logical Troglodyte, what gave you the idea for Shaggy?
Well, that character is a bit of an amalgam of my little brother, a good friend that I had in the Navy, and the Shaggy character from the Scooby-Doo cartoons. I wanted to create a backstory to my channel, you know, being a caveman and cave town and the people who populate it. So I needed, you know, somebody that wasn't quite the sharpest knife in the drawer, the sharpest crayon in the box, for a little bit of comedic relief. This is only his third appearance on my channel on his latest video, but that was the first one I attempted to do him as a standalone character. I wanted him smart enough to be able to debunk the morons, but at the same time, not quite as sharp as a regular debunker. So, you know, my friend in the Navy and my little brother, they're a little like that. And the guy that I was friends with in the Navy really did talk like that. And, you know, so it's kind of a homage to people that I really care about, but I still kind of shake my head at.
That's really cool. I like Shaggy. I really like him a lot. It's a great character. Question for Barman. Who does he think is winning the World Cup? The All Blacks or South Africa?
Oh, well, if the All Blacks can beat Ireland, then yeah, I don't see anyone else being able to stop them from winning it, because I can't see England beating Australia, but then I can't see Australia beating the All Blacks either. As for South Africa, I think they're going to have a hell of a hard time against Japan. I think the way Japan have been playing, it's going to really upset South Africa. And if anyone's going to knock South Africa out, I think Japan are going to do it. And then even if they don't, hopefully Wales will anyway, and I could end up with a lovely New Zealand-Wales final. That'd be bloody awesome.
Oh, but, how awesome would that be?
It would be amazing. At this point, I think it's too close to call. Those 8 teams that are left, I don't see England going through. I don't see France going through to the next bits. The other 6, I think it's too close to call with the games they've got. And I'd hate to think who's going to be in the final at this point.
All I know is that I hope you're right with the South Africa-Japan thing, because as much as I rate the All Blacks, I'm not convinced we could take on South Africa again and win.
Ooh, well, let's put it.
I think you'd have a hard time against New Zealand. Against Japan as even a final match. I think it'd be a hell of a game. I think you beat them, but it'd be a hard match. The way Japan are playing is phenomenal at the moment.
They definitely are those underdog risers. This fucking cup, that's for certain.
Yeah, well, they're
Cool.
ranked
Well,
8th in the world
let's-
now, aren't they?
Let's
Yeah,
put it to the rugby fans in the live chat. Everybody, type 1 if you think
Rugby.
it's going All Blacks or football.
What rugby? Isn't that game where men run around with a little ball and rub each other's butts all day?
It's that game where
that was
Canada failed to score a single try.
I knew that. Anyways,
Why do they have
everybody-
to keep trying? Can't one of them actually succeed? What's the problem?
Everybody, type 1 if you think it going All Blacks, and type 2 if you think it's South Africa. Let's see what you guys got to say.
No, hold on. Type 3 if rugby is a woman's sport.
Well, there you go.
To be fair, mate, there is a
And they
woman's
call
team there.
me the ugly American.
Okay,
my
no, I'm
God,
not kidding. I'm not kidding. Rugby played by a bunch of cool chicks would be far more interesting than a bunch of I'm so cool dudes, right? Because the chicks
Cool.
would go in without that manly ego attitude and actually make a good game out of it. Whereas, I don't want to watch men rub each other's bums all day.
Yeah, until one of those cool chicks get an elbow to the mouth and nose and lose their teeth and a broken nose and blood all over her face.
Hey, that would make her
Oh,
even
man.
cooler. What are you talking about, right? Any chick that can handle a good forearm smash to the face, get up, grab the ball, and score a goal. Hey, you're all right with me,
It's
man.
called a try.
Cool.
Hey, mate, put
I've
it this
got
way,
another.
man. You don't want to meet any of the female rugby players in the bar in a bad mood.
Oh, well.
They look tough as fuck.
I can only imagine.
Some
Because
of them
that
pretty
is,
damn scary.
no, all joking aside, that is a viciously cool sport when it comes to not a lot of padding, really beating the crap out of each other and whatnot. I mean, it's really cool. It's just kind of a shame that between European football, what we call soccer, and rugby, nobody cares in North America. So we're just not exposed to it, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
you've got the bonus that America might be going for the 2027 Rugby World Cup, as long as my maths is right in my head. Yeah, so they might be putting in for that, and if they do, they should do quite well and get it, which would bring a lot more rugby to North America, which could be really
Yeah.
good for the sport as a whole.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Excellent. I've got another question here to the entire panel. What is a conspiracy theory that you haven't addressed on your channels but would love to address?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
I've got a few that I haven't covered because I refuse to. The other ones like the shooting deniers and stuff like that, I just refuse to cover that stuff. Most because I'm a comedy channel and there's nothing funny about that.
Yeah,
No.
true enough. How about you,
Yeah,
Dick? Anything in particular?
Yeah, I'm going to be tearing the asshole out of all the anti-vaxxers coming up soon because I can't stand those guys. I mean, every one of them needs to be round up into the city square and have a huge truckload of manure dumped on them and then, marched out of town in disgrace with dunce caps on them. And, I want to take it further than that. I just don't want to get in trouble on the air, right? But literally,
Gotcha.
Ready, aim, yeah, that kind of thing, right? Just get rid of them.
Cool.
Should make them play
Cool.
rugby.
And how about you, Logical?
Yeah, that I had to really stop and think about that for a minute. And I think for me, it's the religious conspiracies, the ones that find evil hidden messages all over the place. Like Anti-Flatter says, my channel is a comedy channel, and how to address this sort of religious thing in a funny way without being disrespectful to the religious people that don't do weird conspiracy theories. It's a balancing act. I think I have found a way to do it, and we're working on a video. I'm not sure how long that'll be before it comes out, but I found a guy that is finding evil hidden messages inside the Tostitos chips logo.
Oh no. That ought to be good for a laugh or two. Oh my Lord. Oh man. Okay, Barman, what about you? Is there anything particular you'd like to cover that you haven't yet?
I keep thinking of doing some alien stuff because when I was a kid, I was really into Roswell and all that crap, and thinking, yeah, crop circles, aliens, and the people who just get completely obsessed about it. I believe there's a group down in America who have mind-powered guns to attack the aliens with and things, and I think that would just be so hilariously funny to cover as a complete and
Isn't
utter
it?
take. But
Isn't it?
one that, oh, go on.
Go ahead. No,
All right.
go ahead.
Cool. One, I know we said about shootings before and not wanting to come. One I might make a little bit of a slightly serious video on was the Sandy Hook shooting, but not the shooting side of it. Was that one of the fathers who unfortunately lost his child in that has just been awarded, I think it was $450,000 when he sued one of the deniers who released a book saying it was all fake and stuff like that. And basically he sued him and said, no, I lost my child, you absolute piece of shite. And yeah, I might cover that for a little bit, just as a more serious sit-down video or something. So yeah,
Awesome. That was a really good question. Thanks, Dark Knight Apologetics. Really good question. Let's see what else. Blue Earth Thing says none can beat Bama. I guess that's a reference to the football.
rugby.
Or rugby, sorry. My apologies, gentlemen. I'm a Canadian, like Dick Dawson. Don't have a whole lot of exposure or experience with rugby. Let's see. Do we have
Neither do the
anything?
Canadian rugby team.
Blue Earth thing. Blue Earth thing says, look up lingerie football.
Oh, I've seen it, Blue. That was absolute insanity, man. The fact that they could find enough women willing to do that was the biggest joke of it all. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Robert Leger says those girls do not fuck around.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. That's the wrong girl to, like, pull a fast one on a dinner date. All of a sudden, you're on your back on the table looking at the ceiling going, what the fuck just happened?
No kidding. Okay, just checking a look to see if there's anything else. Okay. Curie Mac from the Casual Spaceman listening on his phone. Who's doing what for Christmas on their channels this year? Any Christmas specials planned? Barman?
Yeah,
why don't you
I've
go first?
actually, I've already one-upped everybody. I've already got a hold of Saint Nick. He's coming over to the channel. We're gonna sit back, get drunk, and talk about the old days. It's gonna be fantastic.
Awesome. Any special pizza parties going on there, Barman?
Nothing planned as yet for Christmas. I think we were planning a special on the Shills one for New Year's, but I can't say much about that until we actually do plans, but keep that eyed out for. But as for Christmas, no.
No? Okay. Logical. Anything special going on in Cave Town for Christmas?
I'm still trying to get through Halloween first. There's so much to do for that. But now that you mention it, I'm thinking maybe I can make a video explaining how Santa Claus and his flying reindeer, A, fly, and B, make it around the entire world in a single evening. There may be a rotating globe proof and time zone issue there.
Nice.
That's
But we already know how the reindeer fly, man. Cheech and Chong told us. Wow, they got some magic dust? Yeah, man, they got some magic dust. And that makes them fly? Oh, yeah, they fly around the world. Far out, man.
And here I was thinking it was all magic flatulence.
Pixie farts.
Oh, wow. Pixie farts, yeah. Flatter, anything special happening down at the bottom of the globe?
Well, here in the future, as you probably know already, we've stopped celebrating Christmas. It's not something that's done anymore. We've actually gone back to Saturnalia, so I'm going to be stuck doing a bunch of our festivals and stuff like that and running around giving people dolls and stuff.
Well, I don't know if I have anything special planned for my channel. I haven't really given it much thought. Very much like Logical, I'm kind of still wondering what I'm going to do for Halloween. Not at Christmas yet. So, but I'm sure we're all going to come up with something interesting. That's for sure. Do we have any more questions in the chat? Go ahead, Dick.
I do know that there are some murmurs within the shills that there is the possibility of a special Halloween evening live stream. So I'm not saying it's real. I'm not saying it's not real. There's just some murmurs in the background. We'll see how it plays out.
Ooh, that sounds ominously cool. All right. Do we have anything else going? Wah, 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 wah. Well, it looks like we're kind of low on questions here. Anybody would like to post something in the chat, please do so. If not, then we'll just kind of start wrapping things up.
Well, I got one for Anti-Flatter.
Go for it.
How much time does it take in pre-production to plan these absolute extravagant videos you're up to these days? It must take forever.
Oh, look, to be honest, by the time a video gets to the point where I've scripted it or recorded or anything, I've gone through about 4 or 5 different ideas. I'm not going to lie, a fair chunk of my time while sitting at work waiting for orders to come in are thinking about what video I can do and how to put it together. So it takes about a week for an idea to be, good enough to put the pen and paper. Then probably a good 3 or 4 days of trying to figure out how it gets done, and then it's literally comes Saturday, cameras out, everyone gets told to piss off, and I'm filming all frickin' day. Then it's all night worth of editing. Then it's up early because you guys seem to think that Saturday streams are Saturday for everyone. Sunday sleeping forever. Then it's try to get the video out before the shows go live.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
and I want to say that I want to say that doing all of that while defending the ice wall. I mean, defending the Antarctic Research Station. It's just amazing you can do it. Hats off to you, man. Well done.
Well, that's the advantage about using the new pattern enhancers we've got for the transporter systems, is I can transport site to site if I need to.
Oh, I haven't got mine yet. Come on.
Yeah, it's advanced future technology. Come on.
Yeah.
Blue Earth Thing says to Anti-Flatter, with you being in the future and all, how does his new video look, and are you not far enough out in the future?
Hey. No spoilers there, Blue Earth Thing.
There you go, Blue Earth Thing. Yeah, we have these future events laws that we can't discuss or disclose. See,
well,
sorry.
Flatter was taught by Rip Hunter himself not to mess with the timeline. He knows better, Blue. There's just nothing he can do.
Yeah. Sorry, Blue. Sorry. Kiri Mack says, I think Yuri needs a girlfriend named Yura. What do you think there?
Must have been my internet, but things cut out there for a second then.
Nick,
I can see there's a hashtag going on in the chat right now. I kind of have a wig. I'd have to get a few extra pieces that may make myself look a bit bad at the shop, but I'm sure Yuri can get something going on.
Yeah, well, there you go, man. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Didn't mean to cough in your ear there.
He's probably going to get a wig for his left hand.
Oh.
Casual spaceman to Anti-Flatter. How about doing an opposite to Yuri, like a real capitalist and anti-communist?
Well, I tried doing like a real southern accent, but it just came off all weird and everything. In fact, I was told by Blue Earth Thing that I shouldn't do that accent anymore. He was going to be like the capitalist guy, but it really didn't work out.
Oh, well. Kira Mack says we need Yura.
Hashtag Yura. Yura Russian.
I don't know, Flatter. I'm thinking that voice you used for Lieutenant Soho in our Star Trek spoof, that'd be great, for a Texas oil baron mogul.
Well, by the powers of Grayscale, I might just have to.
Yeah, I can see Anti-Flatter not only in a wig, but in a cheerleading outfit for your,
I am very disturbed about what goes on inside in your head right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just think,
I'm kinda
Barman
worried.
wants to have my brain.
Yeah. Speaking of barman, Casual Spaceman has a question for you. How about doing a pizza recipe stream? Show people how to make good pizza, but without pineapple.
That could actually be very doable because I could set up the 2 cameras in the kitchen quite happily. Just my only downer is the fans in the kitchen get very goddamn loud. So we could work something with that. Show people how to make pizza dough, pizza sauce. Yeah, that could be good.
I don't think
Cool.
Flatter's very serious about his pineapple pizza addiction thing because I challenged him to go to Tuscany and actually make that order and see what happened. But I think he's a bit of a coward.
Yeah, I value my life. I mean, I would have suggested to the Italians to make me a nice spaghetti and ham or spaghetti and sausage pizza, but I had a feeling that they may have reintroduced crucifixion if I'd done that.
You're probably right. I know if you were in Canada, you probably would.
No, I've been talking to Dick about some of the other foods we eat in New Zealand. If I try any of that stuff there, I think I'm a dead man.
Oh, God. I think most of us would be. There's some strange stuff in that country of yours.
No, it's all normal food.
Yeah, Pete says spaghetti pizza is normal food, he says. What do you think, guys?
I don't know, man. I used to think my late wife was really crazy when she asked me to make her a fried spam and grape jelly sandwich, which kind of seems rather good compared to some of the stuff I've been seeing Annie Flatter tweet out.
Oh, you don't want to see the picture in my head right now. God. Oh, man. All right. Well, it looks like we got a lot of people who are against the pizza idea. Of pineapple on pizza.
Pineapple on
I don't
pizza.
see the problem. Personally, I like pineapple on pizza. Kill me if you wish, but I'm sorry. It is a
That's
great
because
Canadian tradition.
That's
I'm
because
with you
they're
there, man.
heathen. And 90% of Canadians are heathens, and Annie Flatter's just a threaten. So, you know.
You best be careful there, boy. I'm going to sick dick on you. Go get
I
him,
can
Dick. Go get
handle
him.
it, Jeff, trust me. Oh, phrasing.
Nothing like getting whipped by a dick.
Oh no! Oh no! You did not just say that. Huh? I think we may have. I think we may have lost Dick. Are you there, Dick?
Oh, God.
Oh.
We need to feed his phone some Viagra. His dick keeps dropping.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah, I
like we're a
think
bit
it dropped
lipless.
That's okay. We'll get him on your case later. All right. Do we have any more questions in the chat? Looks like Globashilla says Marmite pizza with Brussels sprouts.
Drop the Brussels sprout, replace it with tomatoes, and you've got it.
Okay. Let's see.
I've got a question for Steaming Cup, actually.
Okay, go for it.
You came to this a little later than the rest of us, and if I'm not
That's right.
mistaken, you got inspired by watching us on the shills before we invited
Yes.
you to join. Yeah, you
That's right.
watched us on a weekly basis, beating our
Mhm.
heads against the wall, giving ourselves
Mm-hmm.
concussions. Why in the hell did you say, "Oh yeah, that looks like a good idea"?
That is a very good question, and I'll tell you why. Because I was doing the same damn thing on my monitor while I was watching you, so I figured I might as well join in. And here I am. I know,
Guys,
man.
I had known how weird this rabbit hole got while I was watching the debunkers that came before me. If I had really known how crazy it could get, I might had not have started a channel. But now that I'm into it, I can't get out.
One of us. One of us.
One of us. You're trapped now. You're trapped. Okay. Well, it looks like we are through just about all of the questions, so I think maybe we will just wrap it up here. So let's go around the room and give each of our creators a chance to say goodbye. And that'll be it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. So, Barman, any last words you'd like to share?
Oh, yeah. Subscribe to the Shills, like and thumbs up this video. Come and check out some pizza stream. I'll have to make a recipe one. People keep asking for it, and we'll do it. I'll probably just shoot it in the flat and be done with. I can turn things on then. And yeah, pineapple belongs on pizza.
I agree. And Logical, anything you'd like to share before we split?
Oh, well, if anybody in the audience haven't heard about it yet, the Shills will be on tomorrow night, 5:30 Central Time, North America, 11:30 British Summer Time. Be there. There will be another Idiot Report by Babes. And then a few hours later, the midnight between Sunday or Saturday and Sunday. So Sunday morning, not the other one where everybody gets confused. Like, oh, is it midnight on Saturday or is it midnight on Monday? It's the midnight between Saturday and Sunday, Central Daylight Time, North America time, 0600 British Summer Time, Sunday morning. Logic and Reason will be airing live. Our guests will be Blue Marble Science and Red's Rhetoric, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
We will be exploring the conspiracy claim that rockets do not work in a vacuum, the first of a short series fighting the idea that space is fake.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And Dick, are you back? Ooh, looks like he's still out. Flatter, is there anything else you'd like to say before we move on?
I just want to thank everyone that's come to watch the stream, and everyone that tunes in for the shows and everything like that. It's entertaining you guys is what we do this for. So it's great to see these awesome turnouts that we always do.
Yeah.
And cheers, Steaming Cup, for having us on as well, man. It's always good
Well,
to
thank
get
you
the
very
crew
much.
together.
Yeah, it's been great having you guys on. I really did have a good time tonight. It's nice to catch up with you guys again. To all of you in the chat, if you haven't been to any of our creators' channels recently, I highly recommend that you go over, check them out, see what they're up to these days. Their channels are really growing. They're putting together some awesome stuff, and I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. And don't forget to join all of us as we get together on Sundays or Saturdays, depending on your time zone, on the shows. We've got another great show lined up, and that's it for us today. So thank you all for coming, everyone. It's been a real pleasure to do this stream. I hope to do another one again soon. Thank you all, and we're out of here. See ya.
Bye.